Good morning. 恭喜發財. Happy Chinese New Year. My name is Phyllis Wong, and I'm here representing the Central Coast Chinese Association to talk a little bit about the most important and meaningful celebrations of Chinese culture, which is Chinese New Year. So first, a little bit about the Central Coast Chinese Association, or the CCCA. So the CCCA is a nonprofit, and it's been around for almost 40 years. In fact, we're having our 38th annual Chinese New Year celebration next Saturday, February 2nd, at the Vets Hall. It's this big, awesome event, and if you're interested in checking it out or being a sponsor, you can come see me after the program. Our organization was founded in 1980 by a group of Cal Poly professors, and it is dedicated to celebrating and promoting Chinese culture in SLO County. It's also dedicated to supporting the Chinese community, its professionals, and its families, as well as honoring and preserving the Chinese American history in the Central Coast. So we have over 400 members in SLO County, and every time we get together, whether it's for Dragon Boat Festival, the Mid-Autumn Festival, or Chinese New Year, there's bound to be lots of food, community, and friendship. All right, so Chinese New Year. So the last time I gave a speech on Chinese New Year, I was 8 years old and totally the shortest person in my class, and round face, pigtails, it was awesome. I grew up in Toronto, Canada, and actually gave my speech in French, but I won't do that today. So this year, Chinese New Year is on February 5th, and it changes every year because of the lunar calendar. So with the Chinese lunar calendar, it runs on a 12-year cycle, and each year is ruled by a different animal, if you believe that. So this year, it's the year of the pig. Good job. So if you were born in 1947, 1959, 71, 83, 95, or 07, this is your year, and you get extra luck. So there are 12 animals, and depending on what year you were born, each of these animals have different attributes which may or may not describe you. So just for fun, Jim, do you know what year you are?
My wife says I'm year of the jackass, but 1973, is that right?
Close. Year of the ox. So people born in this year are dependable and calm. They are good listeners and have strong ideas. Yeah? All right. Okay, so Chinese New Year is an incredibly festive time of year where we have some really great traditions to ring in the new year. And there's a lot of variation depending on your families and the village you come from, the region. So I'll just share some of the ones that I grew up with in my childhood. So a few days before New Year's Day, we would begin cleaning the house and sweeping away any bad fortune to make room for good fortune. We'd always wear red on New Year's Day because red symbolizes good fortune. And then my whole extended family, aunts, uncles, cousins, we'd all go over to my grandma's house, and she would have tea and candies and oranges ready for us. The candy box was round, and it had 5 compartments. The middle one was always filled with these like red dyed watermelon seeds, and then everything else, there were Chinese candies. And my favorites were the White Rabbit milk-flavored taffy, and I can still remember sitting there on her sofa eating the rice paper while my aunts and uncles visited with each other. Every year, I would pour my grandma a cup of tea and wish her a Happy New Year first. So respect for elders is really a big part of Chinese culture, and in many families, Chinese New Year is also a time to pay our respects to our ancestors. So we always had a picture of my late grandfather on the mantle, and in front of him, we'd have all the delicious dishes that my grandmother had prepared for Chinese New Year. So noodles for longevity, because they're long, fish for prosperity, dumplings for wealth and good fortune. And then before we ate, we'd always tilt the dishes towards my grandfather to kind of offer him the food first before we'd feast. Another big tradition are the red envelopes. Have you guys seen these? Lai Si or Hongbao. So these are given from the adults to the children to kind of wish them good luck. And then as the adults would hand these to the children, they would say something. Usually these 4-character phrases, wishing children good health, a good year in school, a year of growth, things like that. So I'm excited this year. As a child, it was fun to receive the hongbao, but I'm excited, as an adult to be the one to give it to my children and to wish them well for the new year. So I'd like to just conclude by teaching you a few 4-character phrases. If you guys butcher this totally, it's okay. So just something to know, my family is from Hong Kong, so I'm going to teach you these phrases in Cantonese, but a lot of the members of CCCA, they're from Taiwan or China, and so their main language is Mandarin. Okay. So, Cantonese. Here we go. So, repeat after me. 恭喜發財. That was good. So that means may you have good fortune. 身體健康. That's good. May you have good health. 龍馬精神. 龍馬精神. Good. May you have the vitality of the dragon and the horse. Thank you so much for letting me share some of my traditions with you today. 恭喜發財.